What is going on, everybody? This is BroncoJuggalo, and I am finally coming to you with Texas Chainsaw, or Texas Chainsaw 3D, however you want to put it, review from 2013. Now, I know that I've been saying that this review is coming, and I've had a bit of trouble. I had to buy a new copy of the movie because my other copy wasn't working. Couldn't find it on a streaming service anywhere. So I had to buy a new copy. I had to wait for that copy to get here. It finally did today, so I watched it. I'm reviewing it. Here you go. Directed by John Lucentop and starring Alexandria Daddario, who, by the way, is smoking. As our main character, Heather, also known as Edith Rose Sawyer, and then we have Dan Yeager portraying the role of Leatherface. Also, we now know that Leatherface's real name is Jed Sawyer, or Jedediah Sawyer. We have some Texas Chainsaw alum coming back. We have Marilyn Burns, Gunnar Hansen, Bill Moseley, and the guy that played Grandpa. I just forgot his freaking name. Shit. This is a direct follow-up to the original film. Taking place immediately thereafter, the Sawyer clan is surrounded by the locals of the town they live in, and the Sawyer clan has expanded from just the original 4 members to a bunch of outlying members that have come in to help out in this time of need. And the Sawyers are very much that the family is more than just blood. Family is everything. So they are all there. There's a bunch of people in the house. They are waiting with Drayden Sawyer and Leatherface and Grandpa. Nubbins got hit by the truck, remember? They're surrounded by townsfolk. The sheriff is there trying to keep things in order. It doesn't work. They all get killed. The house gets burned down. And the only survivor is the baby Edith Rose. But the baby is missing, presumed dead, because one of the groups of vigilantes takes the baby and raises it as their own. Years later, Edith Rose is now called Heather, and she finds out that she inherits a nice estate from her grandmother, Verna Carson Sawyer. Along with that estate comes a lot of family baggage and a few skin masks. Bill Moseley plays the part of Drayden Sawyer, and honestly, I think he does a good job. Not so much a pro in this film for me, but I think he did a really good job kind of doing a tribute to Mr. Sydal. On a sadder note, this was actually the last film that Marilyn Burns and Gunnar Hansen did before their deaths. So overall, guys, this isn't a terrible film. This film catches a lot of shit, but it's overall not a terrible fucking movie. It's got some cringeworthy parts where mostly it's in the storyline, in my opinion, and maybe a little bit in some of the acting. You can tell a couple of the actors were just in this movie because they looked good. But I do have to say that I do have a few cons I want to talk about. And the first con is the sheriff calling Leatherface Drayton's son. More than once in this film, he calls him Drayton's son. For anybody that knows anything about the original film, Drayton was Leatherface's older brother, not his father. Didn't get that part at all. I don't know if that was just a mess up, if the screenwriter didn't realize. But they had Toby Hooper, and they had Kim, I can never pronounce his name, Knuckle, whatever. The 2 guys who practically created Texas Chainsaw Massacre and did the original film. They had both of them working on this movie. I don't see how they could have made that mistake. The next con in this film is that Heather is between 21 and 25 years old. Now, the problem with that is this. Is from the time that the house burned down to the time of the original film, to the time, and her being just a newborn baby, to the time of this current place film, which is based in 2012, there's approximately about 36 years. Okay, she's not old enough to be the person she is in this movie, unless she is like the hottest 36-year-old I've ever seen. You know, I'm not saying there aren't hot 36-year-olds, but she is very, very obviously between 21 and 25 in this film. They were not too particular about their timeline. They fucked it up. There's quite a few times where the dates are fucked up in the movie on gravestones, on newspapers, on clippings, things like that. They mess up the date a few times, and that just kind of got to me. But not so bad that it pulls me out of the film. Overall, I can forgive it because I just really enjoyed the experience. And the last con I have is the sheriff walking away at the end and telling Heather and Leatherface to just clean this up and lets him go. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Even if he has sympathies for them because of what the family went through and all that stuff and what Heather's gone through now, even if he has sympathies with that, there's no way that he is going to let Leatherface go. Maybe Heather, but not Leatherface. No way in hell. I mean, come on. He doesn't want this guy around his town. But that's it, guys. That's it for my cons. Like I said, overall, I enjoy this film. I know it catches shit, but it's a fun movie, and I have fun with it. And with that being said, we're going to get right into pros. And my first pro I'm going to mention is Dan Yeager. I think Dan Yeager is a pretty decent Leatherface. He's not my favorite Leatherface, but he's not the worst either. And I think he gives a really good performance here. I enjoy him a lot, and I like what he did with the character. He made the character his own, but he still gave respect to Hansen and all the others that came before him. Even Baranarski he gave respect to, and I believe, in my opinion. Gunnar Hansen doesn't. You could sure tell even in the behind-the-scenes documentaries that he was not too impressed with the remakes. Leatherface, personally, I think it's just because Andrew outshone him, but that's just my opinion. I love that they use excerpts from the original film in the intro. This is a really awesome intro. I like it. They didn't go with the narrator and the words across the screen, and I was fine with that. Even though I really liked that, I liked the way they did this. It helped to connect the two films very well. I really enjoyed that. There's this crazy, weird, you think it's going to be like an old country gospel song, but it's kind of not. And I like that. It's funny, and I just thought it was hilarious. Oh, shit. Holy shit. I just killed a giant freaking scorpion that just crawled across my floor. Crazy. Okay, getting back into pros. Alexandria Daddario, whatever her name is, however you say it. Let's just say that that girl is a natural. And I like it natural. She was really good. I liked her. She was awesome. For a lot of reasons I'm not going to mention. I really enjoy the kills in the film. I like the kills a lot. I like the gore. We do get more chainsaw usage, which I like. And it leads me to an awesome kill scene that's actually my favorite kill scene. And that is the grinder kill scene. The last kill of the film. It's awesome. Leatherface, he is going after the mayor. The same guy who led the troops, so to speak, against his family in the beginning. And he swipes the mayor's ankles, cutting the Achilles tendons. And the mayor's trying to crawl away, and Leather's chasing him kind of with the chainsaw, kind of playing with him, driving him farther and farther back into this grinder that's going. The guy's holding on for dear life. He's falling into the grinder, and he's holding on. And Leatherface just takes his chainsaw and takes the dude's hands right off. He falls into the grinder. It just totally demolishes him. I love it. It was great. I love that scene. My favorite kill of the whole film. And last but not least, I like the post-credit scene because her step-parents or adopted parents, or whatever you want to call them, they get what they deserve. I like the post-credit scene. Stick around for the post-credit scene if you haven't in this movie. So overall, guys, I do enjoy this film. It's not the best one in the franchise, but it's not the worst either. Well, I don't know. Watching this franchise, I'm having to reevaluate some of my, my picks and my choices and my placings, but it's definitely still not the worst. So guys, there's just one more film to go in this franchise before we get to our ranking. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I'm sorry that it's taken me this long to get here. And yes, you don't realize it, but I'm wearing a Leatherface mask right now. I'm just that ugly. This is BroncoJuggalo saying, you guys have a great night. Peace.
You think I'm out of my mind? You laughed at me and my theory. You might be one of them.
You think I'm out of my mind? You laughed at me and my theory.
You might be one of them.
You think I'm out of my mind? You laughed at me and my theory.
Yeah, I'm on a mission and this shit'll never stop. I'ma forever